Hi everyone. Guess it's good time to get started now. So firstly, I would like to thank the طويق Academy for having me here and for the overall initiative of 3,000 developers. The topic for today is mainly focused on how we can go for agents within Google Cloud, and specifically focusing on the data lakehouse and agents together. And I'll explain why do we need these both things together. Just if you want to follow for future sessions, just scan the QR code for that, and then we'll start with the session itself as well. So we'll be talking about how we can go from data to decisions. And in that journey, we will talk about Gemini, BigQuery, and overall how these two technologies come together to deliver agents. Now just raise your hands if you already use Gemini to some extent. And how many of you know something about what is BigQuery or Lakehouse in general? Perfect. So you are going to learn something new today. And the end objective for me is to introduce you to something where we can start creating agents and applications that use agents very quickly. That's the end goal of today. I want you to create an agent and learn how to create an agent at the end. My name is Ahmed, and I lead the technical architecture for data analytics and AI here in Google Cloud Saudi Arabia. Quick intro, we have been with Google Cloud for almost 4 years. I moved to Saudi last year in April. Before that, I was part of the Google Cloud team in Canada and been in this field of AI, data analytics for 10, 12 plus years now. So why are we even talking about this thing? There is overall, after AI and all the AI chatbots being introduced, Gen AI, there is a wave of change in how we interact with data. There is multimodality coming in. We are not now only looking at text, numbers, we are looking at files, PDF file, images, videos, you name it, in any format. And you want to look for data and get your answers from this multiple formats of data. And then on this data, you don't want to go and look for, okay, what was my sales last year and start calculating the sales. Rather, you want agents to do that for you. While doing all this, we still want to be making sure that we are using AI responsibly. Google in this case is very strict. We use AI, but we use it in an ethical and responsible way for the right use of AI. Now, having said all this, we are still seeing people want to use AI. Everyone keeps saying, we want to do AI. But AI is not only about, okay, help me write an email, or help me write a letter, or a response, or a tweet, or something. AI is more than that for organizations. Let's say, for example, if I work in a company and the HR comes to me and they say, okay, can your AI tell me how many employees do we have? Try out on any of the chatbots, go to Gemini, go to ChatGPT. Can it tell me how many employees company X has? Exact number of employees. No one can tell it. If you disconnect the internet from any of these chatbots and just ask it, what is the weather today? They can't tell you that. That doesn't mean AI is not good enough. That only means one thing. AI doesn't have the data to answer to it. So where is the data for all this? The number of employees data might be in my HR system. How many customers do I have might be in my customer management system. So there are different sources of information that a company has. And that is very important for us to know, for the AI to connect to this data in order to get the right output out of it. So there is a life of AI beyond just using Gemini or ChatGPT and asking it to create emails, write emails. The main thing of AI is when it connects to your organization's huge amount of data and get answers. But we are continuously seeing organizations fail in that. Why do they fail? Because either their data is not accessible, or the place where their data is stored is not fit for AI. They can only read structured data that is stored in a database, a relational database. They cannot read their unstructured data, or they just don't have the skill set to connect these two things together. A lot of the times what we are seeing is, in order to do the reliable AI, organizations have a broken data foundation. So that's what we want to fix. Without a data foundation, you cannot go from data to decisions using AI. And there are more reasons for that. What is a broken foundation? Broken foundation is that your data is not in the right format, in the right place, at the right time, at the right speed. What all that leads to is you don't have the full access to the data. You have a huge time from generating that data to getting insights. For example, let's say I am a customer of, all of us have some kind of a telco provider that we use. I call that provider today and complain about my services. How much time does it take for that telco provider to realize that this customer is not happy with my services? The longer they wait, the longer the wait time is, the longer it will take them to address that concern, and the longer it will be that I'll be a happy customer with them. The longer this time is, there are more chances I might move to another telco provider. What that results in, the telco loses a business and that business goes to another one. Don't just put it in terms of a telco company, put this in terms of a banking company, a retailer, and e-commerce. Everyone has the same problem. So you want to make your insights and decisions and actions on that data as soon as the data is generated. So you'd want a near real-time data platform. You want the fastest AI to it, and the AI that can connect to this data to give you insights. The more slower this process, the more difficult your system is, the most overworked your data teams are. Because right now, as a data scientist, data engineer, you will spend a lot of time curating that data, waiting for a query to run, trying to scale up the platform. In the end, someone will come and say, oh, we are using an older version of the database, I need to update that. That's not a job of a data scientist or a data engineer. And you have an older version of a database, a newer version. Your customer doesn't know this. Your customer or the user of your product won't wait for it. So you want all these things to be resolved. What just happened? So we won't wait for any of these, the products or my customers won't wait for all this to be resolved. It's already connected. Okay. So then how does a data platform looks like when it's the AI world, where all types of data can be processed? That's where Google Cloud comes together. Because within Google Cloud, there are two things. We always had a very strong data cloud, and now we also have a very strong AI stack. And when we say the AI stack, we are talking about AI from the infrastructure level. Google has their own silicon, which we call as TPUs. We have our own frontier model, which we call as Gemini. We have our own applications tool stack that we call as Vertex AI. We have our own agent development kit. And then on top of it, we have our own applications as Gemini and Gemini Enterprise. Whereas on the cloud side, we have our own, on the data cloud side, we have our own data visualization tool Looker, our Lakehouse, BigQuery, and then the tools required to get the data into that. What that in the end gives us is one unified platform from where I can have all my data in any formats, apply AI on it, and make agents on it. And this is the journey we'll take today. So the platform that we are going to mainly focus on is called BigQuery. This is one of the names you will hear from me many times today. Traditionally, when BigQuery was launched almost 15, 18 years back, it was a data warehouse. Then it got modernized into a data lakehouse. And now we call it our agentic first AI lakehouse. That's where the AI is built in within it. The data formats could be any types of data as we discussed. It could be just a relational database. It could be a PDF file. It could be an image, video, you name it. You can process that through this platform. This platform doesn't have any servers running behind it. So you don't have any virtual machines or a set of boxes or servers running behind it. It's completely serverless. What that helps us with is no updates, no maintenance, no downtime, no backups or anything like that. We as data scientists, data engineers, solely focus on one thing, that is our outcomes, which is, in this case, the agents and the AI outcomes that will help my business deliver use cases faster. And when it comes to all this, the business is very careful around cost, because IT platforms or AI platforms sometimes are considered as additional overhead cost. So you want to be always lower in the total cost of ownership in order for the company to create an ROI. Because you don't want that you spend millions on this platform just to save one customer. It's no value. So you want to have the lower cost of operations to have the better ROI and the return of investment by saving your customer base. Now, step by step, I'll go through all these 4 things just for you to get more understanding of it. So when we say that this platform is building on multimodality, what does that mean? In that one table, how many of you are familiar with a database, a relational database? So in that one table, let's see if you're not familiar. A table, think of it as an Excel file, which has rows and columns. In that one table in a database, normally, traditionally, we could only store integer values or maybe strings or float or alphanumeric values. But in this one table, now we can store images, the metadata for that image, let's say a call recording, detail of who the customer is, what is their date of birth, age, everything. You can store all of that in one single table. What that means for us is all my data that is generated by, let's say, one single customer will be processed together. I won't be processing it in different places in different steps. One single place to process all that data, giving me richer insights. Think of it from if you only have the details of who the customer is, what is their name, date of birth, which city they are calling from. That's one part only in your traditional system. How much insights you can get only from that. Now merge it with the call recording of past 10 interactions the customer has had with my organization. That will add a lot more value to it. So you are combining all this to get richer insights from one single place. That's what multimodality adds into this.
Sorry, just a quick question. Aren't audio, video, and images instead of binary? So how does that?
Good question. Great question. It's considered binary, And that's where multimodality models also come in, like Gemini, because, and I'll cover this in a bit, Gemini, for example, is not only able to generate text, it can generate images. Maybe you have already tried Nano Banana, creating images out of Gemini, right? It can create images, it can create videos. Just like that, this can understand images, this can understand videos, even though it's binary format, right? So these models and these tools have the capability to parse and understand what is the content all about. And that's where this goes to, right? Because you have that image, which is, yes, it's binary or it's in a RGB format, the color combination of it, it's pixelated, it's an image of pixels. So you can use any language, SQL, Python, whatever you know, with BigQuery to have it understand that one image. So let's say this is an image that I have given, and I'm asking, give me all the objects that are available in this image to be able to better understand the image. It will identify the objects and give me a probability of what each box is, what are the available things in this image, and maybe I want to correlate it with my other data sources from within this as well. So you can get sense of, this is an example of an image, but take it to an example of audio recordings, video recordings, all that could be done through this one platform, and we'll see some examples of it in a bit. This is not only on static data, because earlier I mentioned we want to go from the moment the data is generated to getting the insights as soon as possible, to take the right actions at the right time. This platform is also a streaming platform, which can stream petabytes of data at the same time. So it is able to, as soon as a data is generated, it will be passed to the LLM through BigQuery, and your insights would be generated right away as well. So that's how we make it more real time. You want to do all this, but we don't want to forget how the data is being used. What is the quality of the data? Because there's a common saying, might have heard it before as well, garbage in, garbage out. So if you have a lot of data coming in, but no one has ever validated that data, no one has ever checked the quality of that data, it's of no use. So that's where you can never forget in all this landscape how the data governance is looking like. You have to focus on the data governance element as you are building your agents, as you are building your AI applications, to have high trust on that. So that's where within this tool, data governance is also implemented. This is a very important point even for our local compliances, because any data platform that you're building needs to be NDMO and PDPL compliant. Any system where you're storing customer information should be PDPL compliant. Any information about the organization you're storing should be NDMO compliant, which includes what is the data quality, which includes cataloging, that is the more information about the data itself. That includes where is the data coming from, how it is being processed, which is the data lineage. So you need to keep track of all these things. You need to keep track of where is the sensitive data. Am I storing anyone's credit card numbers? Am I storing anyone's date of birth, name, IDs? We need to keep track of that in order to be compliant with our local regulations as well. So this system that we are talking about, BigQuery, is not only a system that can help data engineers, data scientists, AI engineers develop AI applications, but also my data governance team govern the system intelligently as well. And then we can monetize on this data by sharing it with others as well. Now, that's mainly on the side of BigQuery itself. But how is the AI coming into it? That's the next part to it. The AI piece is coming into this platform by local, or what we call as native BigQuery machine learning models. We have a huge set of traditional machine learning models, like the clustering models, classification models, forecasting models built in within BigQuery. But we also have our AI models built in within BigQuery as well. And the AI models doesn't only need to be Google AI models. So we have the whole Gemini family image generation that you can call directly from BigQuery, but you can also call open source models, any open source models, you name it, you can call it from here, or you can call any of the speech to text, text to speech models from within this as well. Benefit of this, one integrated unified platform. The more siloed platforms you have, the more time it will take to copy the data from one to another, and the more management you will have to do. So unification helps us in processing the data faster, lower the cost, but also keeping the quality of the data higher. Within this, now how do we use it? We have these AI functions added into the traditional SQL queries to actually just write a question to use AI. For example, in a retail store, I want to create a list of product reviews that are highly satisfied with the product quality. So I want to find all my customers that are happy with my product. Just from the reviews itself, I have to use this function ai.if, which is the customer happy with my product based on the review? So this is just the prompt that you normally give onto Gemini or ChatGPT. This prompt you'll mention in your SQL query, and it will go and figure out the sentiment or the happiness of the customer. So that's where we have not only one function, we have functions to classify, to cluster, to generate text. All these functions are available within BigQuery to make your prompting easier to Gemini. Now, when you are going to prompt this, imagine, just take this example. These reviews are reviews of the product people have given to your products, right? If you just go to the public version of Gemini or ChatGPT, it doesn't know what are the reviews to your products, because those reviews are stored in your proprietary database or in your internal databases. What we are doing here is connecting that database where your reviews are stored with an AI model. In this case, Gemini, but you can replace it with any other model. So now the AI answers would be based on your own reviews. The more it is connected, the more it is giving you answers based on your data, the less the model will act or hallucinate, which is there is a lesser chance the model will give wrong answers. The model will give more curated and better answers because it's working on your data now. Okay. All this helps us with multiple different types of use cases. I can go and search on customers that are happy, customers that are not satisfied. I can try to look for my products that are not being used a lot or where my improvements are required. I can go and cluster. I can run analytics out of it. So I can even, let's say I find out I have 10 customers who are not happy with my product. What offers can I generate for them to retain them? Or what do I need to change in my product to make it better? All these things starts coming in from that single one place. So that's now we have the data in one place. That same place has the AI capabilities as well. But the concept of agents come in. Agents could be of multiple types. One type of agents are just the out-of-the-box agents that we have in every tool. You might be interacting with them today, but you don't know them. For example, if you go and start to use any of these AI to create a code, you are actually interacting with an agent. The second type of agents are that are not out-of-the-box agents in your tools, but are custom agents that you develop on your own. So they have much more specific tasks, they have much more specific function, and they might not be in the product itself, rather you are creating it. We'll explore both type of these agents just now. Just before we start digging further into this, how many of you know what is agents within AI? In AI, not overall agents, AI.
Agents
Yes.
are specific functionality that will be embedded inside the AI to do a specific step of activity that will be guided either by already template or set information for source.
That's a good one, right? It's exactly the very important word he used was specific functionality. Agents have a very specific function to solve, or a very specific problem, or a very specific capability to do. Now, a very common question I get from people is when they start using agents, most of the agents might end up being a chatbot even. Let's say chatbot itself is an agent. But what is the difference between a traditional chatbot that have existed for last 10, 15 years, and what is the difference between an agentic chatbot? Or overall, what is the difference between a thing that agents are going to do? Agents make decisions themselves. I'm just giving an agent a task to do. Because agents are connected with LLMs, with AI, they have the power of making their decisions based on scenarios. In the traditional world, we used to do if, else, if, else, if, else. A long list of if, else to cater for different scenarios. And if a question comes to me that is not covered in that scenario, I would just say, I'm not capable of solving this. So in the traditional chatbots, if you go, many websites still have those traditional chatbots. You go and ask, I want to check how much did I spend on my phone usage yesterday. It will look for specific words. Okay, are you looking for your phone bill? It will then ask you, okay, what is your number? Whereas agentic chatbots, they don't need that long list of if, else, or scenario handling. They can make decisions. Let's say rather than bill, you mentioned how much was my consumption yesterday. Both means almost the same thing. But your traditional chatbot was using for specific words. Now here, it doesn't need to say, I don't know what is consumption. It would go to the LLM, see, okay, I'm a telco company, he's asking me about consumption, we'll make a link and still get you your billing information. So that's where agents are more smart. Now, there are agents that are out of the box within this platform that we are talking about, BigQuery, and we will see in a bit how we can create our own agents as well. So, kind of that difference between the agentic core and the agents versus assistants. In the assistants, which is, let's say in this case, the assistants are the Gemini and the ChatGPTs and Anthropic and all those, where I'm just asking it to write some code, write something, complete something, write me an email, something like that. Whereas agents are going to answer specific questions. For example, I ask it, find my top customers. It might ask me, what is your basis of top customers? Are you looking for revenue? Are you looking for quantity of a product purchase? What is your definition of top customers? But then it will go, it will plan, execute, and deliver you a result. Whereas in the first one, I'll just ask it, okay, can you tell me how can I find my top customers? It might give you a code that you will run in your platform and get the results out. So there is a difference between traditional assistants that we had and how agents can come help solve these problems. Within BigQuery, we have multiple agents, from data engineering agents to data science agents to data agents for developers. That's custom-built agents for us. Let's do one thing. Let's go into the console for Google Cloud. That will give you a little bit idea of how does the Google Cloud looks like, but also how does this platform looks like. Let me just perfect. So what you see on the screen right now is the main page of Google Cloud. This is mainly for developers to use. It's the console where you start interacting with Google Cloud. I will just go to BigQuery, which is my lakehouse that we are talking about. You can see on the left-hand side, in BigQuery, I have a lot of my data stored, sample data sets that I have over the years. It's stored here, but I'm trying to look for agents over here. One of the agents I have is pipelines. If I go to the pipelines and I use one of the agents here, this agent is where I can start to curate and clean my data set. In a data science lifecycle, the most time-taking thing is data cleansing. Bringing the data in the right shape is the most complex thing. So if I write here, let's say, I'm asking it to take my customer table, my transaction table, clean them and join them and make one final table for it. I haven't given it what is the exact name of my customer table. I did not tell it what is the exact name of my transaction table. I did not tell it what I want my final table to be like. It's doing that search right now. It is looking at my data governance catalog. It found out 2 tables that are similar to what I'm asking for, and it will keep going on validating, creating that cleansing steps. You can see I'm not doing anything. It's generating these pipelines on its own right now. That's where a data engineering agent comes in. It is doing the code. It did exactly what I asked. Take 2 tables, clean them, and create a final table. Maybe I don't like the logic it gave, so I can go back and ask it to correct something for me as well. That's vibe coding. The agent will give you an output. You like it, you accept it. You don't like it, you give it a prompt again to make it better and make you match your needs. This is what is called a data science agent. That's one thing. You also have within BigQuery another type of an agent, which is called the data canvas, which is the conversational agent or talking to your own data agent, where I don't need to go and run my SQL queries or make that relationship. As a business user, I just want to ask it a question: how many accounts were opened on each date? It should go find which table I'm talking about, write the query, again code written automatically, give me the output, give me the visualizations, and if I want to generate insights, generate the insights for me in a text form as well. So for my work as a data scientist, from cleansing of that data, it has gone easier. Generating insights has gone easier. That doesn't mean this is going to replace me. It only means I am now able to focus on the right things for my organization. Before this insights is generated, my business doesn't need to wait a month before this is generated. The quicker they generate this insight, the quicker I'm able to help my business. So that's where agent starts to come in. But these are just some out-of-the-box agents. You all can ask, what if these agents are not doing my work? I want to do something more specific. Yes, you can always generate your own agents as well. That's where we will go in the next section, where we'll see that there is applicability of creating our custom agents as well. Within that custom agents thing, if you want to take something from the session, there is something called as ADK, which is the Agent Development Kit from Google. It's an open source, free to use kit. Do try that out. It's something that can help you create custom agents. So if you want to become developers that can code custom agents, knowing this kit is really important. Within this, there is also the concept of MCP toolboxes that is the connection layer of an agent to your data. And then if you don't want to go into the developer side of things, you keep coming to the right-hand side where Gemini Enterprise or Vertex AI, visual kind of a drag and drop based agent builders start to come in. But again, the value always will be on the custom or the coding based frameworks rather than just a drag and drop, because they again get to some sort of limitation. As I mentioned, Agent Development Kit is a fully open source, free to use kit. I'll just show a quick demo so you can get started with Agent Development Kit just in a bit. The Agent Development Kit is not fully tied to Gemini. It's an open source kit. You can use any LLM with it. Whatever is your favorite LLM or whatever is the right LLM to solve a specific problem, you can use any of them. But if you have to talk about the Gemini family itself, Gemini as of today stands at 2.5. There is a Gemini Pro, Flash, Flashlight. Each of it has different capability of what type of problem it solves, at what speed does it solve. So for example, Flash is highly performant, highly cost effective, but if you need to solve a very complex problem, you would go with Pro. Or you can switch between multiple models as well. Gemini is not only a text-based thing, or it's not only you ask it a question and it will give you a response. It can take actions, it can use tools, it can do real-time streaming, it can even control what we call it as Gemini computer use. It can control your computer as well. The inputs and outputs in Gemini, based on your question on binary. Gemini can take as input any of these instructions, either just simple instructions, text, code, images, videos, and can give you output in any of these formats. Not only this, Gemini can also do media generation, images, video generations, and it can also do live interaction. Have you anyone tried the Gemini live thing in the mobile applications? So this is where Gemini comes into picture, and this is just the free version of the Gemini app, right? If you open up the Gemini app and you just start this, it is now I'm able to talk to it, and I can turn on my camera to show it something. Let's say,
oh, I can't use the camera yet when we are live. For now, going live is great for things like chatting.
Okay. My internet is not so good here, but if I give it my video, it will tell me what I'm holding in my hand, right? So that's where Gemini Live comes in, but we are talking about not this public version of Gemini. We want to use Gemini for our own tools. Let's say there's an industrial setup. You want to look and solve a problem in the industrial setup itself. That is a very proprietary information that only that specific industry has. So Gemini Live can connect to your own information as well. That's where I want to skip some of these to go into that question again, what is an agent? And the reason for this is I want to show you how to start building these agents. So an agent is a system that uses a model to reason and select the appropriate tool to achieve a goal. What this means? One, an agent does need a model. This model is an LLM. Could be Gemini, could be LLama, DeepSeek, you name it. Could be any large language model. Why it needs that model? In order to make it reason and go into the details of what actions it needs to take. But it needs to select the appropriate tools. Let's say I ask my LLM or my agent, what is the weather today? What will be the right tool for the LLM to pick? The right tool for that LLM to pick would be an API on any service that can give it what is the weather today. If I have to ask, okay, how many employees do my company have? The right tool for my model to pick would be an API that can call the HR system to get that number. So it needs to call the right tool to achieve the goal. Now that's that specific goal that the agent is tasked to do. If my agent is only tasked to tell me the weather, it will always call that weather tool. If my agent is made to tell me the number of employees, it will only call the API for number of employees. So that's where the agent comes together. There's a whole agent thing which has some short-term memory, long-term memory. The agent need a model and the right tools to call. Tools could be APIs, could be databases, or could be another agent as well. So that's where I want the next or the last 10 minutes to focus on building an agent of our own. Before we go there, I think so one thing that you can value out of this is using on your own the AI Studio. If you haven't used this before, do try using AI Studio, which is AI, the link is aistudio.google.com. You can use your Gmail accounts with it. My link changes because I'm on the internal system, but it's actually aistudio.google.com. Every new innovation Google does is released on AI Studio first. So in few days, whatever innovation keeps coming is released here. So for example, you can use it to try the nano banana thing, do something with images, generate videos, generate text, images, everything comes here. But what we want to do is create applications that uses Gemini or that uses overall agents. If I click on new app here on the top right, I can give it an idea here. An idea of a website, an application, anything I want to create. Let's say I ask it, I want to, or maybe before that, I try to look for what I want to create. You want to do something with Google Maps data. You want to do something with the nano banana thing. Let's do this one. So I'd already told it I want to create an application that is powered by nano banana. So I'm editing images. And I can say I want to create an application that takes my selfie and adds some funny backgrounds to it. Okay. That's just the simple prompt I gave, and I click on build. It will go ahead, start to process based on my prompt, and create an application for me. Maybe in the first attempt, I will not have the right application I want, but that's where the vibe coding comes in. You keep telling it the changes you want to make, it will keep making those changes over here. It takes some time to get this up, but you can see it is creating new files and everything on the left-hand side for that application. So that's where the AI Studio will come in. Give it a try to create your own applications. You don't need to know everything about coding. You don't need to know everything about agents or anything. But this is the place where you will start to interact to create your own applications. That's one thing here. While it's getting done, I also want to create our first custom agent. Let's see if this is done quickly. Because it's creating, you can see, it's creating multiple files that will come together to give this application. You can see as soon as it's done, it's asking me access to my camera, and it created a website for me. Full screen, a website is ready. I can take my selfie and it will start doing the things I've asked it to do. If I don't like the output, I can always go back and change here. Maybe you don't like the title of this. You can ask it that change the title to something else, and it will keep doing that for you. Once you are done, you can actually deploy this application and use it as your own application. I have been developing websites, my demos, in like 10-15 minutes just using AI Studio. Now, when you end up into a professional area where you need to create your own custom agents, the very helpful thing that comes in is the agent development kit. That's where we will just go, and I want to get you started with this. On your own computers, I'm not allowed to use Python and install things on my computer, so I have another virtual machine open here. But if you open up your laptops, go to the terminal, and just write few commands in the terminal itself. Just ignore a couple of my first few commands. That's just me setting up my environments. Just give me a second here. You don't have to do the first two things I'm doing. It's not mandatory, but for me, unfortunately, it is. But how you can create your own agent very quickly without using AI Studio, rather creating an actual agent, is on your systems, you just need to do an installation of, assuming you have Python already set up, you just need to install the library for agent development kit, which is pip install Google. This will install the Google agent development kit within your Python environment. Now, this only applies if you are a Python coder. I will give you some guides at the end where you can get started with this, but it will go ahead and install the agent development kit on my system. I hope my internet works. Okay, live demos never work. But I might have another way to. So if once it gets installed, the Google Agent Development Kit, you just need for you to get started, you just need to say ADK create, let's say, my new agent. This one line will create your agent. I don't know, unfortunately, my internet is not working here properly, but this one line will create your new agent. So when I come to this, to create a new agent, it is asking, do I want to use Gemini or any other model? Let's say I ask it Gemini. The next thing it is asking, do I want to use Google AI Studio or Vertex AI? Vertex AI is the enterprise version of Gemini that comes through Google Cloud. AI Studio is the free version that I just showed you. So if I say I want to use AI Studio, the only thing I'll need to do is get the API key from the AI Studio itself. So I can I can go here and say get the API key. You can create a new API key, and any API key that you have, you can copy it here. Let's say I say use AI, Google AI. I copy my API key, and my agent is created. You can see in your directory, you will have a new agent, which is my new agent. And if I open this up in any code editor that I use Visual Studio, so I could easily do code dot. It will open up in Visual Studio, and I have my agent already created. What is the description? What is the instructions? You can change the instructions and the purpose of this agent over here. But if you have this up and running, what you only need to do here is, in order to play with this agent and interact, you can just say ADK web, which will start the web browser for this. So if I do this, my agent, I can interact with my agent on my web browser. So this is where it opens up. I open my browser, paste this link over there. I paste this here, and I have I can start interacting with my agent. So I select which agent I'm going to. I created this new agent. I click here and say, okay, I'm starting to interact with my agent. It might not. Why? Because I haven't connected it with the right API for the weather. So if I want to make this question answer, I have to go back to my agent code and the capability of that agent to change the instructions and the description of that agent over here. Just to get started with this, you can follow these steps to install this agent development kit on your system if you are a developer. But if you just want to experience this, AI Studio is the best place to start with it. And you can scan these QR codes if you want more resource material. If you want to learn on Agent Development Kit, this is the documentation page where you will find a lot of samples. Go in here, try out the Agent Development Kit to create your own agents. Or there is another one, which is the Google Cloud Gen AI GitHub. If you go here, you'll find a lot of ideas for the agents, a lot of starting points for you as well. It goes from very beginner to an extremely complex level as well. So keep looking at this as new things keep coming in. They will be in the AI Studio and they will be in this GitHub as well. Okay. That's mainly what I wanted to present. I'm open for any questions.